and you wanted to talk about The Boys season 3. I've also seen this, but I'll let you take it away. Tell us a little bit about The Boys season 3. We'll kick off there.
Okay.
What is this all about?
Yeah. Well, The Boys, for people who aren't aware, it's basically a superhero team, I suppose, a cross between Justice League and Avengers with
Yes.
so-called superheroes who should we say, or a few of them are not particularly superheroes. They're not really, really nice characters. Yep. And there's this other group of people called the Boys that are trying to take them down and bring them down. And so you've got like these two groups. And lines are very blurred, lines are very grey. But one of the great things about it is they are so based on comic characters and even and even that DC MCU universe. And I mean, they make no bones about it. You know, like you've got Homelander, who's definitely Superman.
Homelander is obviously Superman. There's no two ways about it. Yeah.
And in this last series, in this series 3, you're introduced to a new character called Soldier Boy. Now, Soldier Boy, shall we say, he carries a shield. He gets, experimented on by Russians, and which also it's basically
he tells stories about storming the beaches of Normandy and leading like a charge.
He's totally based, obviously, on Captain America with a bit of Bucky Barnes or a bit of the Winter Soldier, because he looks so he's a cross between the Winter Soldier and Captain America, and there's no bones about it, is there? Really?
Yeah, there's no bones about it. Yeah.
That character. And you've got a character like Aquaman, Aquaman called the Deep.
The Deep. Oh God.
Totally.
Oh,
this is, bear in mind, this is a real adult, and there's the Deep. So you've got the Deep, and you've got A-Train. The A-Train is definitely like a cross between the Flash or Quick. Anyway, so they're these characters all based on other characters, and in this third series, basically, the Boys, those guys you see in the background there. They're the group that are trying to take the Supes down, yeah? So basically, they're like the group that try. They haven't particularly got any powers. They gain some powers in this one through what do they call it?
Through means. Temp V.
Through means, yeah. So, and some of them, they're just like normal people. The girl there you see, she's got a few powers. But anyway, so they try to take the others down. And in this series, you get Soldier Boy appears. And basically, Homelander has been so, what should we say, totally impervious, really. He's basically a god that can do anything. And his mind's going a little bit, and he's thinking, I could just totally, if I wanted to, I could destroy his planet.
He's like, I'm a god, and I don't know why I'm having to listen to all these people because they're all beneath me. I could kill them all in like a second.
Yeah, I could kill them all in like seconds.
Yeah, it's why should I listen to any of them?
Yeah, and I mean, in the first series, he did some really, really nefarious stuff as well, which the company Vought, which I guess developed these superheroes, huge company, covers it all up with, this, when there's big explosions. And it goes on that, this was caused by an earthquake, or this was caused by terrorists blowing up, and it wasn't anything to do with that.
It was actually their version of Superman, who was actually just going around causing all these things.
They were causing all these things, but the company was covering them all up. So so that's what this story is. You've got a character that is equal to Homelander. So Soldier Boy is equal to Homelander. Basically, he's got the same powers, and these boys behind recruit him to do a job on Homelander to take. But then there's a few, I'm not going to say what the twists are, but there's a few plot twists and a few, things.
I think,
please, you take over for a bit.
Well, the thing with The Boys is that The Boys is multi-layered. So on the one level, it's extremely puerile. It's extremely puerile, and it's a really, really gory, and it's kind of like, if you can think about, it's like, people, it's someone who essentially, because the guy who originally wrote the Boys, Garth Ennis, he said himself that he does not like superheroes. He doesn't like the idea of superheroes. And his thesis is superheroes, if they existed, they would be like celebrities. And as entitled as celebrities are, as bratty as celebrities are, imagine all those things, but imagine them with God-level powers. How is this a good thing? And so he goes all out to show how bad this would be, and the TV show carries on from the comics and showing you how bad it would be. The number of people that get killed because two superheroes are having a fight and all that sort of stuff. But the TV show is multi-layered, and on the one level is puerile and it's sort of like almost Jackass level kind of show, and the other level it is satire that is and the levels of satire between this thing, because for instance the company Vought that controls these superheroes is almost a satire on Marvel and DC themselves.
Yeah,
they have all these superheroes, and then they make only. But there's this level. So you think, okay, now are they satirizing Marvel and DC? Are they satirizing the comics? Are they satirizing people's reactions to the comics? Are they satirizing people's reactions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And there's all these different levels of what they're doing, and I've stopped trying to figure out exactly what they're satirizing. I just know. Okay, I get what they're doing. I get the satire that they're doing, and I know what level it's at, and so there's all these different levels that go in there. So even what Sean has said quite a bit about what happens in this thing, but there's still so much more in there. There's so much more. There's so much more in there. There really is. There's a particular. I mean, Sharon. I mean, you've never watched The Boys, have you? Oh no, you have.
I did watch this first 2 seasons. Yes.
The first 2 seasons. Okay, then in that case, I feel like about 5 minutes into the first episode of the 3rd season, I have to give you a warning. Just
yes.
I have to give you a warning, because even by The Boys standards, you've seen some crazy stuff. You've seen some crazy stuff in previous seasons. But even by they put something on screen that the creator of the show, Eric Kripke, he put himself and said that this is something that they've outdone themselves to show something that has never. It's crazy and has never been seen on screen before. When you think about it, it is kind of crazy, and I don't want to spoil it. There is an episode episode 6 is called Herogasm, which I thought was going to be the crazy episode, and quite frankly, it's a bit tame. It's compared to what Herogasm was like in the comics, which is what I have in my head.
Right. Yeah,
it's a bit tame, but but I think that the Boys also does this whole thing because it has strayed well away from the comics now. It has gone away, but every now and then you can see an element of a comic that's coming back in, where they've given a line or they've given a purpose to another character, or they've changed what one character does to anything, and you can see how they've changed it, but I think they keep the same heart of it, which is there's a line where Mother's Milk, who is behind Sean, he is the one in the middle. Mother's Milk, he's the one in the middle, the black guy, and he says the point of The Boys is that nobody should have these powers. And they have, and that stays in the heart, where these people say these people shouldn't have these powers because these powers only lead to bad things happening to people. So almost everybody in The Boys has a personal reason why they want to fight against superheroes, because superheroes have killed somebody that they know, killed somebody they love, and have never answered for it. So superheroes they're this kind of weird merge in this world, a weird merge of a politician and a public figure, and when they bring social media into it, and the way the whole thing works, and the way the superheroes, even though they might be really, really powerful, they're still trying to just get a buck because they just want to live like easy lives, so they don't really do anything. And I think the show is very clever. It's very
I think it is. Yes, I agree. Totally clever.
I think it's probably the cleverest show you'll ever see that has exploding viscera everywhere.
Yeah. and as I say, it is very, you do perhaps need a strong stomach, shall we say, or you do need to have an open mind, because there's some pretty near the knuckle and visceral scenes in this series.
I think so. I think there's a bit of it where each season they sit down and they go, right, you know what we did last season, we have to top it. and so they now start thinking, all right, cool, what could we do with the powers of this person? What we could do if somebody had the powers of Ant-Man? How could that go wrong? What would we do? What would we do if somebody was like, Aquaman? Let's go to it's almost as if let's go to all the 4chan forums online where people say all sorts of horrible things, and let's make that happen.
The octopus,
the octopus.
Sort of stuff.
Oh god, no. Let's not even go to the octopus. Let's not go to the octopus. Anytime the octopus, like there's a couple of scenes with the octopus, and no, just no.
Okay.
So sure. I mean, I think that's about what we can say without giving any spoilers in it. Good. Especially if you have been following the comics and everything like that goes on. Oh my god, there's even a satire of things that I just remember the satire of during COVID. You remember when Gal Gadot, she did this whole video where people were singing Imagine. There's a bit where they go for that in this. They go for that, and it is cringe. It's so cringe because they satirize that like almost nobody is safe, and the way they do it, and the way it's up to date, and the way it's clever. I think that's the thing. But anyway, I'll stop talking. Sean, how many stars would you give The Boys season 3?
Okay, on the whole, the series on the whole, I will have to give. I'm going to give it a 4-star because there's enough in there. I think it's very cleverly done. Like you say, there's a lot of layers to it. Some people might find it offensive, but I think on the whole, it's very, very clever. Really, really enjoyed it. It makes no bones about what it is. It's not trying to be any, and I love, as I say, in this series as well, I did like Soldier Boy. I did think he was a good introduction. For some strange reason, I don't know why, because he's not particularly nice. But I did like the character because, so I'm going to give this one a 4. I'll give this one a 4.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you with the 4. I'll agree with you with the 4 because I think, and you said about some people are going to get offended. I think that The Boys is designed to offend.
To do that.
I think if you have any sort of sensibilities, The Boys is designed to, at some point, offend those, to find what the sensibilities are and offend them. And for instance, you know how you said Soldier Boy is Captain America, and there's always been this thing, and like ever since the MCU started, and people said that Captain America is a boring character. Hang on a second, if Captain America was around during the 1940s, wouldn't he be a racist? Wouldn't he be out of touch? Wouldn't he be misogynistic? Wouldn't he? And essentially, Soldier Boy is essentially all those wouldn't he be. So because he's from a different time, because he was around during the D-Day landings, he was around in the 80s, he's now in the modern day New York. And it's kind of like everything that a granddad who is out of touch because it was okay to say this at the time, that is what that is what Soldier Boy is. That's what Soldier Boy is. But yeah, I would give that a 4 for that.